New year, new me? Not quite. New Year's resolutions aren't just a waste of time, they can actually be severely detrimental to your health. Let's find out what got us hooked on this hokey tradition, why we almost never stick to them, and why New Year's resolutions are just plain bad. Sarah has been here before. It's December 31st. She's got her notepad and pen at the ready. And she's ready to jot down all the ways she's going to change her world in the upcoming year. Sounds fantastic, but it's mostly fantasy. Sarah begins her journey into a new Sarah with her most important goal. That's to lose weight. January 1st, Sarah sets her alarm extra early, has herself one healthy helping of oatmeal to start the day, and then Sarah heads to the gym. It's a daunting, somewhat overwhelming new environment for Sarah, but she is determined. As day one turns into night one, Sarah feels a sense of achievement. She's made an exceptional start to her new year. After 1 week, Sarah is still eating healthy meals. She's still getting up early and heading to the gym. She's losing weight. But these drastic lifestyle changes are starting to weigh her down. Sarah isn't sure how long she can keep this up. So where is she going wrong? Maybe it's not Sarah's fault. Studies suggest that out of the 41% of Americans who make New Year's resolutions, only 9% of those manage to stick to them. Some estimates even mark February as the most common date that the resolutions are abandoned by. That's a remarkably low completion rate. Has Sarah set the wrong goals? Or is the process itself to blame? Not only are we going to figure out that New Year's resolutions aren't worth that paper that Sarah wrote her goals on, they're actually worse than that, because they can have a negative side effect on a person's life. New Year's resolutions typically fall into one of 3 categories. 1. Things that you wish to stop doing, usually a thing that makes you feel good, like eating junk food or candy, or binge-watching your favorite Netflix series. 2. Things you wish to stop avoiding doing, like giving your house that deep clean it's so desperately longing for. And 3. The wish to start doing something you don't normally do, like going to the gym or opening up more emotionally to the loved ones in your life. Not easy changes to make by any stretch. Resolutions like lose weight can actually fall into more than one of these categories, making them even more harmful in the long run. To lose weight, it would likely involve dedication to category 3 in the form of heading to the gym more frequently, as well as category 1 because it would mean giving up unhealthy snacks. And if you already have a gym membership card, this resolution could fit into category 2 as well. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is that such a bad thing? The truth is, it isn't a bad thing initially. The bad comes when you fail your New Year's resolution. When Sarah made her New Year's resolution, she focused on a need to change something about herself. Sarah put our perceived shortcomings under a microscope, and this is a common trend where resolutions are concerned. What about a completely different goal in the sights of a completely different person? Anthony is all about his career, and his New Year's resolution was to get a promotion. Anthony started out hot, pushing his pen to the limit and working all the overtime he could. When his promotion didn't arrive after a few months, he was left drowning in his work and in his own self-pity. You see, we often set unrealistic goals in order to fix our shortcomings. The reason we buy into the practice of New Year's resolutions is because it falsely appears as a quick fix scheme. Sarah saw it as a quick way to rapidly turn her life around for the better. But by week 3 in her weight loss journey, Sarah starts to slip back into her old ways. The early mornings became too much, and so Sarah starts having a couple of lie-ins a week. Sarah really misses candy, so a couple of bars every now and then can't hurt, right? Wrong! Sarah steps back on the scales, and she's no longer losing weight. She's failing her New Year's resolution. She now feels terrible as a result. You see, Our behaviors are part of what makes us, us. They're part of what makes Sarah, Sarah. And these behaviors aren't habits that we can easily switch up or exchange for others. They are parts of our personality, formulated from our temperament, emotional stability, past experiences, and wants and needs. Behaviors that we enjoy, like snacking on candy while watching a movie, feel good because they come with a reward. That reward is dopamine, a kind of neurotransmitter and hormone that gives you a feeling of pleasure or satisfaction. Any activity that causes a dopamine release is one that we are then wired to repeat. So when you suddenly stop reaching for the candy, your brain seeks a replacement. Can't find one? Your brain is essentially setting you up to fail that New Year's resolution you made. This isn't a scenario to paint changing our behaviors as impossible, though. In fact, changing our behaviors is possible. But because they are so complex, it takes considerable time, effort, and care to do so. And it, of course, comes with risk. When Anthony promised himself that promotion, he never set out how he was going to get it. When Sarah set out to change herself with a New Year's Day checklist, she set vague, unrealistic goals. When they both failed, they churned up feelings that are much better left alone. Feelings like, I'm a loser, I'm lazy, I'm a failure. To put it plainly, resolutions can very easily turn into punishment that you inflict upon yourself. That means lower dopamine levels, and lower dopamine levels are associated with all kinds of issues that nobody wants, like tiredness, a lack of motivation, memory loss, sleep problems, and mood swings. All because we made a resolution we were seemingly destined to fail. So what should Sarah have done instead? Let's turn back the clock and look at a more positive process for Sarah as the new year begins. Sarah grabs a pen and paper, and she proceeds to jot down all that she has accomplished in the last year. New connections, friends made, people met. Sarah writes down the new things she's learned, the places she's visited, and perhaps most importantly, Sarah jots down her new experiences. Even those that ended in failure likely came with lessons, and therefore have their place in Sarah's end-of-year accomplishments list. For Sarah, this increases optimism and decreases her levels of anxiety. Now, even though New Year's resolutions aren't what they're cracked up to be, I'm not saying you should seek out ways to better not just yourself, but your quality of life. And Sarah still wants to lose weight. So what's the alternative to New Year's resolutions? After patting herself on the back for her annual accomplishments, Sarah sets herself goals throughout the year. She breaks them down into realistic, doable fragments. Sarah's goal was to lose weight and get into the best shape of her life. Sounds like a New Year's resolution, right? Here's the difference. Sarah now sets smaller goals in order to reach the big one. To get in shape, the key is to formulate smaller goals that can be completed in finite sections of time. Like, go to the gym for 45 minutes twice this week. The words Sarah chooses here are also important. Notice how she wrote, go to the gym for 45 minutes. She didn't write go to the gym, set a new bench press record, and break the sound barrier on the treadmill. That would be putting way too much weight on Sarah's shoulders. With a task where we simply have to show up, we are much less likely to fail, and therefore much less likely to suffer negative effects to our mental health. Sarah spends the first few weeks of January hitting her smaller goal, and she feels great. She then upgrades to a new, smaller goal, a new stepping stone on the way to the new Sarah. As February rolls around, and most people abandon their New Year's resolutions, Sarah continues with her weight loss. By the summer, she feels better than ever, and by December, she gets the ultimate victory, being able to proudly state that she accomplished her goal when she looks back at her progress throughout the year. As for Anthony, he's able to follow the same path, plotting out the steps to put himself in with the best chance of receiving a promotion. Even if he doesn't get one, he still gets to tick the boxes next to those smaller goals and feel the reward as a result. January 1st is an excellent time to create your list of must-dos for the upcoming 12 months. For the 9% of Americans who smash their goals every year, New Year's resolutions are highly effective tools for motivation. They simply have to be approached with care. For the vast majority of us, though, there are better ways to start turning things around. Remember, your mental health is of paramount importance, and because New Year's resolutions almost always risk harming this, the only one worth making this year is to skip the New Year's resolutions entirely. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, here's a resolution you can't fail. Like this video and subscribe to our channel. If you're interested in learning more about how our brains react to certain situations, check out this video on insomnia. Thanks for watching.